Greetings! I am Herbert Erberderp, and today I'm going to build these T-26 light tanks from Mini Aarons, if I'm saying that right. This is the first time I've built anything by this company. They seem to do mostly Spanish Civil War stuff, but these tanks will work for World War II, which is nice. They also make some early German panzers and biplanes. On the back of the box there are some renderings of the tank, an instructional exploded diagram, and some suggested colours for painting. Inside the box, which seems a bit large for the sprue size, you get this set of decals which include a nice selection of markings. They look decent enough, though I can't be sure of their quality until I try them, of course. There are 5 sprues packed with a couple of soft foamy bags, which is nice. Looking at the sprues, we can see that the detail isn't super crisp. There's a fair bit of flash and mould lines, nothing too horrible though. There are not a lot of parts, so this should be a very simple build. I started building the hull. This required a lot of cleanup just to get the pieces to fit together, like a lot. It isn't particularly difficult work, it's just a bit tedious. In the end, I didn't manage to get the pieces to fit together perfectly. I glued them together anyway. Be sure to hold the pieces together while the glue works. The parts don't quite fit right and are springy enough that they want to separate and leave big gaps between the pieces. After cleaning them up, I glue on the tracks. They do have a moulded in guide for correct positioning, and they went on easily enough. The next step is to clean up the turret. You'll notice that there's no bottom and it has a pin for attachment. I don't see much point in magnetising this. Then, the hatch is glued on into the appropriate place on top of the turret and the model is complete. The turret fits nicely into its hole on the hull and it shouldn't fall off easily. I have to be honest, I'm not overly thrilled with these models. They're not complete garbage, but they're not great. They're obviously gaming pieces and not scale replicas, and they do fill that role very well indeed. If the details were a bit more crisp and there was less mould lines, I would like these more. A decent paint job and some mud and weathering will likely greatly improve the look of these tanks, but there's only so much you can do. In my opinion, this kit was a little bit overpriced. I paid $40 Australian for it. By comparison, Battlefront's T-26 box can be had for about $58. I don't have the Battlefront version for direct comparison, but I feel it might be a bit better. I'll have to get a box and compare them. I feel it's worth paying a little bit more to avoid having to clean up all those mould lines. It is good that the relatively cheap gaming piece option exists. Not everybody has disposable funds for hordes of more expensive tanks. So, these might be perfect for somebody just wanting some cheaper tanks to flesh out their army. I have certainly seen much worse models. I probably won't paint these anytime soon. I'll most likely do a comparison with Battlefront's T-26s first though, so stick around if that sort of thing interests you. I hope this has been helpful. If you've any comments or suggestions, I'd love to see them in the comments section below. Thanks for watching. Farewell.